Hello, my name's Scott Davis and welcome to New World Birth. By accessing this presentation, you're inviting me to share this information regarding our passage through this challenging and very hopeful time. And this is the care and feeding of a New World Age report for the Gregorian date of March 31st, 2014, and one Chicchan or Serpent in the Mayan Tzolkin calendar, with Venus moving into Pisces and Mercury moving into Aries. March 31st, one Chicchan or Serpent, which carries the themes of unity, flexibility, fluidity, movement, creation of time, Kundalini, bringer of rain, the sky serpents, flood lightning, passion, the life force that flows through everything, the electrical energy connecting our primal root with the spiritual, with our spiritual expression, the transcendence of duality and samadhi. Serpents are important in many different cultures, from Kundalini in the Hindu chakra system to blood lightning in the Mayan tradition, to the Greek serpent eating his own tail, representing life, death, and rebirth, which is often associated with Gnosticism, as it represents eternity. In China, the snake was replaced by the dragon eating his own tail. In Aboriginal Australia, the rainbow serpent is the guardian of life, fertility, water, and other precious resources. And of course, the Mayan god Quetzalcoatl is the feathered or plumed serpent, the god of the wind, the giver of breath, but also the creator deity when he descended into the land of the dead to gather up precious bones, which he sprinkled with his own blood to create humans. This 13-day period is about an important time to connect with spirit and have faith in your journey, experience gratitude in the moment, and let love guide your actions. And during this Trecena, we start a new month. April is the fourth month, and with the digits of 2014, when added together, we get 11. And then we add the 1 and 1 that tells us that this is an 11 and 2 month in numerology, which brings a spiritual quality to the month. Basic numerology reduces numbers to between 1 and through 9. So when we think about this arc, the 2 represents a time which brings increased contact with new people, relationships, and cooperative connections, but also highlights the need for balance. The 11-2 combination is represented by the Lust and High Priestess tarot cards, which are about being in our strength and in our bodies while experiencing our intuition, independence, self-trust, and self-resourcefulness. Richard Moss wrote, "In How Shall I Live? To me, wholeness is the key to aliveness. It is more than just physical vitality. It is radiance coming from being at one with yourself and your experience. Life then flows through you and radiates from you," which is a real nice description of the strength, lust, tarot energetic. And for the High Priestess, this could be described from this quote from The Prophet by Khalil Gibran: "For the self is a sea boundless and measureless." So April's a month to be in our bodies and radiance, and that in turn empowers our sense of self, which we cultivate in new connections with others. April also brings the first eclipses of 2014, the time between the total lunar eclipse on April 15th and the annular solar eclipse on the 29th. We're experiencing circumstances that step up the action, with the sense that if we don't launch ourselves into new directions, we may feel left behind as we begin the month with both the Sun and Uranus in Aries, and then they're going to be joined by Mercury on the 7th. This really creates some tension with Mars over here in Libra and Pluto in Capricorn and Jupiter in Cancer. That's going to be building until we have a cardinal grand cross, which is going to peak between the 20th and the 23rd. So before we get into the daily energy for one Chicchan or Serpent, on the 31st, all the planets appear to be moving forward from our vantage point here on the Earth, with the exception of Mars and Saturn. which appeared to be moving retrograde or in reverse motion from our perspective. Mars turned retrograde on March 1st and it will turn direct on May 19th. So during this report period, Mars representing our drive and aggression, it's in Libra. Mars is in its detriment in Libra because it opposes Aries, the sign of Martian rulership, and it is traditionally considered to have difficulty operating positively in Libra. And then because of its retrograde cycle, Mars will spend 8 months in the sign of the scales. Typically, Mars spends 2 months in the sign. So this placement for most of the year is uncomfortable and even monotonous. And Mars agitates, and in Libra, it's about relationships and can actually lead to social anger. This can cause us to see an increase in passive aggression. Mars is about drive and wanting to take action. But in Libra, it's likely to be the drive to make somebody else take action. Mars has been in Libra for several months, and I've already seen folks competing for love. They're willing to fight for a partner. People become aggressive in their quest for romantic love under this influence. Mars is also about sexuality. So retrograde Mars periods are contraindicated for beginning any kind of a satisfying sexual relationship. As much as Mars is unhappy in Libra, it's also unhappy retrograde. So this is really a difficult time to access our drive and aggressive energy. Saturn turned retrograde on March 2nd, and it turns direct on July 20th. The themes of Saturn and Scorpio are loss, depression, failure, fear, the shadow, betrayal. You know, this stuff just really goes deep, where superficiality just doesn't cut it when Saturn is in Scorpio. Saturn retrograde can really be a taskmaster as it demands we take responsibility to review the scorpionic themes such as motives, ethics, intentions. So if you've not been clear on these subjects, we're likely to feel that our burden is heavier than the load we had previously agreed to carry. For the daily vibrational energy of this Trisena, I'm just covering the major astrology points. I'm not covering the daily moon things unless it's a full moon or a new moon. But I will kind of keynote each of the Tzolkin symbols. So on the 31st, we have one Chicchan, or serpent, in the Tzolkin. This is about unity experience through being flexible. April 1st is two Kimi, or transformation. This is about duality experience through releasing what no longer serves us, with the sun in a 90-degree square to Jupiter. So from our perspective here on the Earth, this is a 90-degree angle, which can be very useful for moving ahead with something you desire, as long as you avoid excess and remain disciplined. Many of us will feel the urge to take on more than we can handle or have the resources to accomplish. Being overly optimistic and exuberant, we need to be really careful of being extravagant. This is best to approach with some kind of restraint. This can also create difficulties with others because many will express its influences as arrogant self-righteousness. But since you're being aware of this possibility, you might want to approach those folks by looking for common ground and compassion for their point of view. The next few days with the sun is going to interact with the cardinal T-square. So it's moving towards a conjunction with Uranus. It's in a square to both Pluto and to Jupiter. So this is leading up to this ominous building feeling as we're moving towards a grand cross that we're going to feel the peak of between the 20th and the 23rd. And then April 2nd is 3 Manik, or deer, in the Tzolkin. It's about taking action through being of service to others. And we have Mercury in a trine to Saturn. So from our perspective here on Earth, this is a 120-degree angle, which may bring our thoughts to more serious concerns. This brings concentration and attention to detail with practical focus and disciplined thinking. This transit favors a heavy mental contemplating that requires a sharper mind and higher standards for quality. Work done on the second will be more methodical and painstaking. This is good for organization through looking at the details, although the overall perspective may be less available. It's more like seeing the trees than the forest. With Saturn involved with Mercury, the day also favors seeking counsel from older persons who have experienced the situations that you're currently contemplating. And then the third, we have 4 Lamont, or a star or rabbit in the Tzolkin. This is stability through being grateful for abundant relationships with the sun square Pluto. So from our perspective here on the Earth, this is a 90-degree angle with Pluto down here in Capricorn, which begins that tense time period when the sun is activating this cardinal grand cross with Pluto, Uranus, and Jupiter. These planets are moving towards exactitude as the Aries sun is dancing with each one in the first week of April. A square between the sun and Pluto it brings powerful forces to test us from within and without. These tests may lead us to make radical changes in some area of our life that is not working very well. This can be very beneficial for letting go of old patterns or behaviors that have come up for examination at this time. Holding on to what is not working will just make life more difficult. And this transit also indicates that persons in authority may demand that we account for our actions and even ourselves. Some people will abuse the power they are wielding under this influence. This also indicates a breakdown of situations and machinery. So no matter what you experience, something that will make you aware that it needs fixing. And my advice to you is fix it, whether it's a machine, a relationship, a behavior, a pattern that no longer works. This is being brought into your consciousness so that you can work with it. April 4th is 5 Maluk, are offering empowerment through appreciating all creation in the Tzolkin. The 5th is 6 Ak, or dog, which is about being in the flow through enjoying family and friends. And at this point, Venus moves into Pisces, so it crosses over into the sign of the fishes, which brings more awareness to intuitive, unseen realms, inspiring spiritual and psychic experiences. It also kind of bring a fog of illusion regarding love, romance, socializing, and money. And think about it. We're moving out of Aquarius, which is an air sign. It's about thinking, and it has more detachment to emotions, to Venus now moving into a water sign, which it has more of an emotional component to it in Pisces. And then April 6th, we have 7 Chicchan, or monkey reflection through creating something new in the Tzolkin. The 7th is 8 Ebb, or road, balance through serving your community. And at this point, Mercury moves into Aries, so it crosses into Aries, which brings our minds and communications into the realm of new beginnings, restlessness, impulsivity, impatience, the self, and courage. And in Aries, Mercury gains strength in imparting aggressiveness in thinking and in dialogue, also brilliance and intelligence. Expect people to become more outspoken and witty, but also impatient and self-serving until Mercury moves into Taurus on the 23rd. April 8th is 9 Ben, or reed, or corn. This is about patience experienced through maintaining the home. And at this point, the sun is opposing Mars. So from our perspective here on Earth, this is a 180-degree angle between the sun and Mars, bringing a day to watch the tendency to be assertive based on your ego. This is a time of culminations when projects and activities can reach fruition. This can be disruptive when the ego is operating unconsciously and leads people to blindly assert themselves, which in turn is met with opposition and resistance. So folks may be more irritable and aggressive under this influence, with confrontation seeming to be more likely. So if you're interested in deepening your self-awareness, look at the aspects of your internal and external environment that are sparking any irritation or anger for what the attitudes they hold in your current thinking. Once you kind of unpack this baggage, you might find that what was making you mad is really of little importance. A lack of recognition of these undercurrents, though, can lead to suppression, which can also cause illness or self-destructive behavior. So, you know, these things are being put out because they can really be helpful if you know what's going on. The ninth is 10 Ish or Jaguar. It's manifestation through enjoying nature in the Tzolkin calendar. The 10th, April 10th, is 11 Men or Eagle, resolution through seeing from a higher perspective. And then the 11th is 12 Keeb or wisdom, understanding through introspection, meditation, and forgiveness, while we have Venus, and it conjunct Neptune. So Venus has moved along in Pisces enough that it's reached the same degree of Pisces as Neptune, which brings another wave of spiritual inspiration to surf in April. And Neptune is the higher octave of Venus. Unconditional love that's merging with romantic love. And for me, I have these two in tight conjunction in my natal chart, which I've realized has influenced me to really never stop loving any of my past partners regardless of how the relationship has ended. For me, this aspect is lifelong, but it's going to influence us all for a few days. The peak of this experience is about spirituality through love, compassion, and selflessness. The sense of union of souls with one another, or on the other side, it could be disappointment with a loved one for not meeting our expectations, even the unrealistic ones. Daydreaming is common under this transit, which may be a needed escape from reality. Just remain aware of your surroundings. This does not favor practical thoughts, so you should probably delay any decisions or actions that require good judgment, particularly related to relationships or money, because those are Venus areas. This is one of the best uses for this Venus Neptune conjunction is the creative or artistic energy that you can really put into some form of work. We can move something from the ideal to the real. And then April 12th is a 13 Kaban or Earth, movement to the next stage through gratitude for Mother Earth in the Mayan Tzolkin calendar. So no matter what these energies are affecting you during the one Serpent Tzolkin, take some time out to be in the flow of the planet by being in nature, watching a sunrise or a sunset, communing with the stars, being conscious of the moment through introspection or meditation, or just really being there with somebody you love. Every single day is a blessing, no matter what the dramas are that are beckoning to distract us. We're all here just giving the performance of our lifetime on the world stage, but just take some time out to observe the play as well as act your part by remembering you're a spiritual being that's having a human experience. Anyway, I want to thank you for checking out New World Birth. The next segment of Care and Feeding of a New World Age will be on April 13th of 2014 for one Etsnob or Flint, with Pluto will be turning retrograde. We're going to be talking about the Libra full moon and lunar eclipse, the sun moving into Taurus, followed by Mercury also moving into Taurus, and that infamous Cardinal Grand Cross. You can check us out on Facebook, YouTube, or the Mayan Magics website. And I encourage you to share this information as videos, texts, and text as widely as you choose. I'm also going to be discussing the metaphysics of April 2014. I'll be providing some short human design readings, 10 to 15 minute readings, to the participants of the Earth Needs Rebels show on Truth Frequency Radio on April 1st. And the show is from 1 to 3 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. I come on around 1:30 after the news. And if you want to come on to the show, you can contact them through the chat room, and they'd be happy to call you anywhere here on the planet Earth to actually include you on the show. But you can also communicate with Katie through the chat room if you want to get a reading or you have a question about what's been presented. As always, I invite you to contact me at newworldbirth@yahoo.com if you have any questions or you wish to schedule a reading. And I am providing readings and wish to make this service available to the greatest amount of folks. So I've created 3 options with 3 levels of compensation. These readings are really designed to provide information to help you navigate these difficult times. At the basic level, we look at your human design chart to help you understand how to use your individual strategy and authority in making life decisions based on your unique design. I include the next 3 months of astrological transits. Oftentimes I'll talk about more than just the 3 months as they relate to your natal and progressed astrology chart along with the human design reading at the middle level. So you get 2 readings in one. And then at the top level, the human design and astrology transit readings are recorded and sent to you as an MP3 file that you can download on your computer and review over and over again, which is really highly recommended because these are epic readings. They're usually, 2 hours, sometimes with 3 hours. I've done 4 hour, I've done 6 hour readings. Sometimes I don't know when enough is enough. So, it's to your benefit if you get the reading and can afford the recording because there's just so much information. You think these videos are dense, readings are take that to a whole new level. So anyway, if you've been thinking about getting a reading, please contact me. I'd love to provide you a reading during these uncertain times. You're going to need to either be able to call me in Maine in the USA, or we can connect with Skype to receive your reading. We're also accepting donations to keep these reports freely available. As always, I'm blessed that you've taken the time out to connect with my passion for all of these ancient mysteries and their application to our journey in this incarnation. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste, in Lakesh, and I'm really grateful that you've taken the time to review this, and I hope we'll connect in the future, either in a video, a reading, or on the radio show. Peace, everybody.